Hello everyone, I am Madhuri Gabne from Department of Information Technology, KBP College, Vashi, and this is a lecture series on subject Database Management System. In this session, our learning objectives are to understand primary key and foreign keys. Before going to study primary key and foreign key, we should know the role of the primary key and foreign key in database management system. In DBMS, key is most basic and important part of database management system. Keys help us work easily with the records. With the help of key, we can access record easily. While storing the data into the database, using database management system, it is very important to keep your data intact. That means to maintain data consistency or accuracy. So, the primary and foreign key both are used to maintain data integrity. You can use primary key and foreign key constraint to define the relationship between the table. Let us see one by one. Primary key. Primary key is a column or combination of column that has the same property as unique key constraint. Primary key is used to identify the record from the table uniquely. Primary key column should not have a repeated value. It accepts only unique value. And primary key column should not have a null value. It will not accept the null value. That means primary key is a combination of unique key and not null key constraint. In a table, only one column we can assign as a primary key. That means one table, one primary key rule is there. Primary key are optional and can be defined when the table is created or altered. Let us take the example. Here EMP table is there, and in EMP table there are 5 columns, that is employee number, e-name, job, salary and department number. From that 5 column, employee number is a primary key. That means employee number column cannot employee number column should only a unique value and should not be null value. If I wanted to add a new record into table EMP, that is Geeta employee record. So if I wanted to add Geeta's record, then with employee number 102, is it possible to insert Geeta with employee number 102? No, because 102 employee number is already in employee number column, and as we are define employee number column as a primary key column, it will not accept repeated value. So in this way, primary key column maintain data integrity. Let us see how we can define primary key in SQL. We can define primary key column in a table in 2 different ways. While creating a table, we can assign a column as a primary key, or while Altering a table, we can add a primary key constraint. First, we will see primary key while creating a table. This is a syntax. Here, employee is a table in which employee number, e-name, job, sal, and department number are the column. And we are going to define employee number. Employee number as a primary key. Employee number as a primary key in table employee. In table employee. That means employee number column cannot take, after defining the primary key, repeated value. Here we are directly define the primary key constraint to the column by writing primary key keyword after column name, data type, and data size. We can again define the primary key in another method, that is primary key with naming convention. That means we can give the name while defining the primary key to the primary key constraint. Okay, so employee one table, again I create employee one table with employee number data type, and constraint. Here I use a constraint keyword. Constraint is a keyword, and emp underscore emp number underscore pk is a constraint name. Is a constraint name. Which constraint? Primary key constraint. That means in this syntax I am giving name for the primary key constraint, that is emp underscore emp number underscore pk. You can give any name to the primary key as you wish. So in both way we can define a primary key. Let us execute the same code in SQL. I am going to use Oracle 11G Express Edition for executing this SQL. This is Run SQL command line application from Oracle 11G Express Edition. I am going to execute all SQL statement in this application. Okay, first of all, we will create a table. We will create a table with primary key constraint. Okay, in this application, we have to connect with the database first of all. So connect, username is system and password is tiger. Now we can execute any SQL statement in this SQL prompt. I am going to create table employee with column employee number, e-name, job, salary, department number, and I wanted to add a primary key constraint to the employee number column. So I write here emp number, data type number. You can assign a size here. Then after I write the primary key. Then comma, then next column you can add e-name, varchar2, size, in then job varchar 2 with size 15, then salary, sal keyword I'm going to use, you can use any name, number is a data type which accept numeric value only, department number, then here close this bracket, opening brace, and for executing this query here I terminate with semicolon. Here one error is there, name is already used by the existing object, that means EMP employee table is already in the database. Okay, drop table employee. Table is dropped. Now you can able to create employee table created. You can see DESC employee. You will get the structure of table, employee table. We create here employee number, e-name, job, salary and department number column in employee table. Here we assign EMP number column as a primary key column. That's why here we get not null constraint. Okay, that means we assign the primary key column to the employee number. Now we check that really it is a primary key. That means really primary key, after applying the primary key, it will not take a repeated value. We will check during the insertion. Now I am going to insert into employee values. Now insert employee number 101, employee name, job, professor, salary, department number. Here I insert one row. I can select the table to show the data into the table. Select start from employee. Here you can get inserted row, that is employee number 101 Madhuri. So now again I can insert more record into the same table. Now if suppose by mistake again I try to insert value for employee number as 101. We insert 101 employee number for employee name Madhuri. But again I am going to try to insert employee number 101. Okay, here error is occur. What error? Unique constraint 16.6 violation. That means we are already apply primary key constraint to the employee number, and primary key constraint, according to primary key constraint, it will not take repeated value into that column. Okay, so this is verification of primary key constraint. Now if suppose you insert a different value, it will take easily. I insert now 102. Again one row inserted. So you can select start from EMP employee. That means if you assign the primary key to the particular column, so it will restrict the value. It will restrict wrong entry. That means automatically data integrity maintained with the help of primary key constraint. Okay, again next syntax we will do. Primary key constraint can be add to the column with naming convention. So we will add primary key constraint to the another table, that is employee 1 table with naming convention. Here I write create table syntax with naming constraint for primary key. I am giving primary key constraint. I am going to assign the primary. Here I write the code for creating employee 1 table, and here I am assigning employee number column as a primary key, and I am using here naming convention for constraint primary key. I am giving here name to the primary key, that is emp underscore emp number underscore pk. So let us execute. Table created in similar way. We are creating the table. What is different? Only we are giving the name to the primary key constraint. Now if you are not adding primary key constraint in a table while creating the table, then there is no problem. We can add a primary key constraint after creating a table. That is, we can create a primary key constraint. We can add a primary key constraint by alter table command. Let us see. In a table employee 3, I create a column employee number, e-name, job, salary, department number. Okay, and there is no constraint, primary key constraint used in a employee 3 table. This table is created, and after creating this table, if I suppose to add primary key constraint, then I can add with the help of alter table command. Here alter table employee 3 add. What I wanted to add? I am going to add primary key constraint and I am going to use naming convention. So I am adding first of all constraint. What I add? Constraint. So add constraint, then after I have to write constraint name. Whatever you assign a name to the constraint primary key. So I am giving the name to the primary key emp3 underscore emp number underscore pk. So I write here constraint name. Then after I write the primary key, and which column is primary you have to specify here in a bracket. So in this way, by using alter table command, we can add primary key constraint. So let us see this demonstration in SQL. So here I am creating an employee 3 table without any constraint. You can see DESC employee 3. There is a no constraint applied to the table. Okay, now we will add the constraint after creating the table. After creating employee 3 table, I am going to add the primary key constraint after creating employee 3 table with the help of alter table command. Alter table employee 3 add. I wanted to add a constraint, that's why I am writing here constraint. And I have to give a name to the constraint. You can give any name to the constraint. I am adding a primary key constraint, that's why, and to the employee 3 table, that's why I am going to give name emp3 underscore emp number underscore pk. Okay, this is my primary key constraint name, and then after I write type of constraint, that is primary key. Okay, I'm going to terminate this syntax with semicolon. Table alter, we can see the table DESC employee 3. Now the employee number having a primary key constraint after altering the table employee 3. Okay, in this way we can add a constraint to the table which is already created in your database. Now we will see the foreign key. Foreign key constraint is also called as a referential key constraint because primary foreign key is used to connect the two table, two relations. That's why it is called as referential key. Foreign key of a particular table is simply a primary key of some other table which is used as a reference key in a second table. A foreign key attribute may have null value as well. A table can have one or more than one foreign key for referential purpose. Duplicity is permitted in foreign key attribute, hence duplicate values are permitted. Let us see example. Here there are two tables. Our first table, department table, having department number, department name, location. And in this table, department number is a primary key. And there is another table, that is employee 4 table. In employee 4 table, employee number, department number and designation are 3 columns. And in this table, department number is a foreign key. Now observe this both table. Department table store information about the department, that is department number, department name, department location. And employee 4 table store the information about the employee, that is employee number, department number of employee and designation of employee. Now if suppose you want to interconnect the both table, interconnect this both table to each other, then we have to use primary key and foreign key. So in department table, department number is unique. Department number is unique key. There is no repeated value and there is no null value. That's why we assign that department number column as a primary key column. And in employee 4 table, we require department number of employee. Okay, that's why I'm using department number column of department table in employee 4 table for maintaining employee department number of employee. Here employee number is a unique key for employee 4 table, but department number column refer to the department number column from department table. So in employee 4, department number column is not a primary key column. It is not a unique key. Here you can see department number values are repeated because every department having number of employee. Every department can have many employee. So that's why there is a repetition in department number in employee 4 table. And here department number column is a primary key column. This table is used to store the information about departments. That's why there is a no repetition of department number column. So department number column here is a primary key, but we are using this department number column in employee 4 table as a referential key. So that is called as a foreign key, but after making it is as a foreign key, it is not necessary that here the department number should be a primary. That means department number column here can have duplicate value. But in table department, it is a primary. Okay, so with the department number table, we can interconnect this department and employee 4 table. Let us see the practical demonstration of the foreign key in SQL. Again, foreign key can be added in a table while creating the table and while altering the table. So our first syntax by using without naming convention. Here I create a table, department table, with department number, department name, location column, and here I assign department number as a primary key. And again I create employee EMP4 table with column employee number, department number, and designation column. Here I assign department number column as a referential key. That means department number references to the department table, to the department number column. Okay, in this way we can create foreign key. In this way we can create a foreign key. Let us see the practical demonstration in SQL. Name is already exist in database, that's why I'm going to change name as department 1. Table is created. Here I assign department number column as a primary key column. Now again I create another table, that is EMP4 table. Create table EMP4 with EMP number as references department 1 table with column department number. Okay, then designation column varchar to data type with size 15. Here I'm going to terminate. Now I'm creating a foreign key in table EMP4. So DESC EMP4 table. This is your table which is created now. EMP number, department number, and designation are the column. From that, department number is a foreign key. Department number is a foreign key, that is a reference key which is a refer to the department number column from department table DESC department 1 table. So this column, department number column from EMP4 table, refers to the department number column in a department 1 table. So we can prove this thing. Now first of all I insert the value in table department 1. Insert into department 1 values department number, department name, then department location. So location. So I insert here department number 1, department name IT, location Vashi, right? I inserted one row into the department 1 table. Again, I will insert some rows. Again, second row inserted. Again, I am going to insert third row, that is department number 3, department physics, location Gansoli. Now I can select the data from the table department 1. Select start from department 1. Okay, department 1, select. Here you can get 3 row which is I recently inserted into the department 1 table. Now I'm inserted value into table EMP4. Okay, EMP4 table contain 3 rows: employee number, department number, and designation. So insert into values employee number, department number, and designation. So insert employee number as a 101, department number. I insert department number 1, department number 1, and designation professor. So it will insert into, sorry, I'm not giving the table name, insert into EMP4. So 101 employee is there, department number 1, and designation professor. One row is created. You can see select start from EMP4. Okay. Now I am going to insert a different row. That is, I'm going to insert department number which is not exist in department 1 table. Let us say check whether it will be inserted or not. I write here employee number 102, department number 1. You can see here department number 1, 2, 3 are there in table department 1. Now I insert department number 4 in table employee 4. So check it whether it is accepted or not. Check it. There is an error occur. What? Violated parent key not found. because it happened because it is reference key. Department number column is a reference key in employee 4 table. It refer a values in a table department in a column department number. So it will take only value from department 1 table in a column department. It will not take other values. Primary key. Foreign key also can be defined by using naming convention. See the syntax. Here I create an employee 4 table by using naming convention, that is emp4a underscore department number underscore fk. I am giving the name to the primary key, that is reference key, which is refers to the department number column in department table. Okay, and if we are not assigning the primary key while creating the table, we can assign the primary key to the table while altering the table. Okay, by alter table command we can add a foreign key constraint. See here the department is a table with the primary key department number and employee 5 is a table, and in employee 5 table there is no foreign key initially. Then we can add foreign key constraint in emp5 table by using alter table command. Right, alter table emp5. Here I use add clause for adding the constraint. Add constraint, then you have to write the constraint name. You can write any name to the constraint primary foreign key. So foreign key, then whichever column you want to specify as a foreign key, write down the name, department number, then references. Here I am giving the reference to the foreign key. So this foreign key, department number foreign key, is refer to the department number column in table department. Okay, in this way we can add a foreign key constraint in a table. Okay, this is all about foreign key and primary key constraint. It is very important in database. Thank you.